And welcome everyone to today's News Tonight, the weeknight news show where we're joined by special guests and our lovely patrons to discuss the day's gaming news. I'm your host, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and GVG co-founder, Steve Bowling, as well as our Ash replacement, Brandon Miracle. Ash's wife, Fasola, is currently not feeling too well, so he is taking care of her because he is a good husband, and he has left us for her. It's like Steve leaves for his mom, Ash leaves for his wife. What the heck?
I know the important women in our lives demand our attention this week, and in all seriousness, Ash, I hope Basola feels better. I know you're in there in the live audience, man. I know you. I saw you. But
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I hope she feels better. It's for those of you in the live chat. It's nothing like super serious. You know, she just needs,
No.
Yeah, we all have those days. We all need help sometimes.
You're under the weather. You can't really move. You got to have somebody take care of you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that every morning. So.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's fun when Kai wakes up at 4 a.m. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That is a fun time.
I am glad to be done with that specific phase of life.
I haven't even gotten to that yet, so I'll relate at some point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Hey, honestly, you're ahead of the game right now.
No. Oh goodness. Real quick before we get into it, I just thought of this, so I apologize that I'm like almost not prepared, but I do want to highlight a fun thing going on for the Charity Room, which is a charity that previous guest, the Golden Bolt, is helps out with. I've joined them a few times as either as running some games or just co-commentating, and they're doing a one-day event to benefit the American Heart Association, and they're going to be hosting a race called Race It and Clank Clock Blockers, where Golden Bolt and another YouTuber goes by Mikonos Fan, who I do eventually want to get on the show at some point, as they're going to race through the original Ratchet and Clank and the 2016 remake starting on Saturday, May 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm sure it'll be fun to see those two race in Ratchet and Clank. They're both major fans, just like myself. So definitely check that out if you have the time. And I figured I'd plug them since no sponsor. So
yeah, there's still 2 spots over on patreon.com/gvgaming where if you want to support your evil lair or other project, we'd be glad to talk about it. Just saying. Hi.
Yeah, exactly. Hi. And hey, more love for Ratchet and Clank, and you got to love them pulling out the whole Clock Blockers name. So
that is pretty good.
That I know I've told you guys this before, but that was going to be the official name of A Crack in Time before they were like, we got to change it. It's pushing it a little too far this time.
A little too on the nose.
Riding the line a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So let's say we actually get to the news today.
Yeah, we've got quite a few things to talk about. I'll get that first story on screen for you right now.
Let's do it. And we're starting off big, something Brandon and I are both very excited for. I'm sure Steve would be excited too if he played Dragon Quest XI, but he hasn't done it yet.
I don't have the time.
For shame.
The Dragon Quest 35th anniversary stream has been announced for May 26th. And the thing that makes this so huge is that this is the first time there's going to be a live translation for international fans, meaning they likely have something big here. At least that's the hope. I always go in with expectations set a little lower just so I don't get disappointed. But even then my hope is, that would be awesome if we could get Dragon Quest 4, 5, and 6 at the very least on the Switch. Or, why not 7 and 8 as well? That'd be nice.
Man,
then there's me, who's just like balls to the wall, Dragon Quest 12, baby.
You know what? I would be so hyped for everybody if Dragon Quest 12 came out. I wouldn't play it right away, but I still want to beat 11 before I play 12, but that would be amazing. I like Derek's idea that we were talking about before the show went on air, just localization of 10. That would be nuts. That would be like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild. Especially, you know how you get Final Fantasy 14 fans to play Dragon Quest 10? Tell them that Yoshi P worked on it beforehand. Boom. They will flock to that thing.
Yeah, you got
Also,
it.
the entire original game is free as well as the first expansion.
Well,
I was telling Brandon about this before, but I was eating a Butterfinger beforehand because of that whole Choco Rapport thing, and Amy and I getting our mounts. So
they've
yeah,
got
they
you in
know how
their
to get us.
clutches, my friend.
They really do. I mean, fortunately, I'm pretty okay with Butterfinger, but still.
What is it? What is it with Square Enix, or is it Square Enix? Square Enix.
I always
right?
said Enix, but I've heard people say Enix, so I don't
I
know.
know in
think it
Japanese
is
it's
Enix,
Enix, yeah. But either way,
Yeah.
what is it with them and Butterfinger specifically? Avengers
don't
had a
know.
Butterfinger tie-in. Final Fantasy VII Remake had a Butterfinger tie-in. Someone at Square Enix fucking loves Butterfingers. I'm just
It's got to
saying.
be Yoshi P.
Mm.
You better not put your finger on my Butterfinger. What is it? That sounded gross. Just the way I said that.
Yeah, there's the Bart Simpson stuff. So
Yeah.
They-
Better not
So,
lay
the
a finger
fact
on my
that this is-
Butterfinger.
The fact this is being streamed for international fans tells me that if there is a new game announcement, this might be a worldwide launch situation, which would be incredible.
I think it'd be one of the first times, right?
I think it would be the first time.
Hold on. I have to caution against getting too excited.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
not forget that Square Enix is the same company that went on stage at PlayStation Experience and they're like, the PlayStation 4 is getting Final Fantasy VII, and everyone's like, oh my god, and then they're like, and it's the Steam version. Like, it was the most deflating. It's like they went on there to suck the joy out of the room, like they had to feed some ghoul in the back.
To be fair, it's a pretty good version of the original 7, but it's not what people were hoping for.
Well, yeah,
At least
it's
people aren't
just,
going in with that kind of expectation. I think that's the big thing.
yeah, my
Yeah.
point is, do not come in expecting the world. Be happy with what you get, because there is a very good chance that Square Enix thinks that this announcement that they're going to make is way more hype than most people will think it is, because they have a history of doing exactly that. That said, I do think it bodes well that they're actually live translating it. Clearly, they think it's a big enough deal to spend the time and the money to set that up.
It's going to be a late night reaction, though, because let me see here. It is at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 11:30 p.m. for me reacting
oh
to
my
this
goodness.
stream.
I am showing up with a drink to this live reaction. I'm gonna be like, look, it is Scotch time.
I think, given that this is a 35th anniversary stream, we're probably looking beyond video games. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like some
there's definitely gonna
concert
be merch.
series or merch. Yeah,
Man, how embarrassing is it gonna be? And I'm pointing this almost squarely at you, Brandon, because you're dressed for it. How embarrassing is it going to be if Dragon Quest completely shows up Zelda for its 35th? Like, Nintendo's just been like, I don't know, have Skyward Sword, I guess. But
Dragon Quest 11 SS.
Maybe have to change the name on that one. There's some unfortunate connotations with SS. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of be happy with anything. We get 4, 5, and 6 on the Switch. I'm happy. We get 7 or 8 3DS port on the Switch. Even happier. That'd be awesome.
Oh man, Dragon Quest 8 is the first game in the series that I personally fell in love with. Like, I watched my brother play that. I ended up gifting him the game and the PS2 slime controller back in the day. Which, by the way, there's one for the Switch that's in Japan that I desperately want. If they announce that that's coming west, I'd be like, that's enough for me. Thanks.
I'd be tempted. I'd be so tempted.
Yeah, I want that goofy thing. But, man, yeah, 8 on the Switch would be huge. I would be, and I'm not a huge Dragon Quest guy, I'd be over the moon just for that.
Well, I think 8 was the big introduction for a lot of Dragon Quest fans nowadays, because, you know, it came with that demo for Final Fantasy 12. Smart move. And
it had a big push in the West, yeah.
Nice way to do it. And I think there's a lot of love for 8. So we'll see how that goes. I saw some suggestions in our live chat for Dragon Quest Builders 3. Hell yeah.
That would be cool.
Totally, yeah.
That'd be a fun one. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here. Seen Rocket Slime mentioned, Dragon Quest Monsters. There's Rocket Slime mentioned. different things they can do to really tie into this. Hopefully, it's not just
Oh,
mobile titles or The Legend of Dai.
there's I was about to say the Adventure of Dai. There's the mobile game that's coming, but there's also the console Adventure of Dai game coming that we haven't seen since its announcement.
I bet we'll
Uh,
see that.
yeah, as well as the anime, which I think is still running. And also, if you haven't watched it, it's really good. So
Is
definitely
it?
check
I
it
have
out.
not watched it at
Yeah.
all. I haven't even watched the World Ends with You anime yet. So
I need
Oh
to watch
wow.
that.
yeah.
So I could see that happening. Maybe an announcement of another movie. I know your story is kind of divisive. I personally enjoyed it, so I'd like to see them try
It's
something.
wild to say the least.
It
See
is.
go- I did not expect that ending.
Nobody did.
Mm.
I still need to watch all. I feel like I have no time to watch movies or TV shows. If it's not a game I'm working on, I'm probably not involved with it, and that's unfortunate. But someday I'll get back to watching TV. I promise.
Whenever I'm, that's how I was able to blow through all of Castlevania in a day because I was like,
you're
either
working.
watching. I'm technically working when I'm doing that, but you also watch. I can easily just watch, hold on to Kai and keep an eye on him while I'm doing that, so it works out.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it, but we'll absolutely be doing a reaction stream to it. We'll definitely be excited. We might need to have you on that one as well, Brandon, just because you have a fellow DQ fan.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Heck yeah,
So,
that would be great.
let's do it. But before we move on to our next story, I got to give a big thanks to Alan Wilkinson in the YouTube chat with their £5 donation saying, since it's probably not going to be a story tonight, can I please get a shout out for Discord's new logo? Get well soon, Ash's wife. I guess real quick, what do you guys think of Discord's new logo?
Why? Like someone summed it up pretty well for me. It was a screenshot of Discord's old logo next to their new one, and it was like when the fonts don't load on your computer, which I thought was pretty clever. Anybody who's worked with like someone else's Photoshop knows what happens when you don't have them installed. You get like the jankiest, like most generic looking font. And I mean, ultimately it's a logo for an app that I use that we're using right now. So it's not gonna change how I feel about Discord. Discord is honestly pretty great. But it is.
I'll be honest, I don't
logo.
pay attention to the logos too much. It's just like, yeah, it's there. Whatever.
I know like they're trying to distance themselves from gaming since Discord is becoming more popular. It's just a general communication software. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the reasons behind this change. But ultimately, it really doesn't matter that much in the end.
Yeah,
like, I'm still going to use Discord.
The thing that I find interesting is that Discord can't move too far away from gaming. And the reason why is if you start putting it up against Zoom and WebEx and other big like business communication platforms, which my day job requires me to know far too much about, Discord is really lacking, like from a feature set perspective.
Right, yeah.
Like for instance, for those of you that don't know, every time Discord changes something, TNT breaks because I have to then reorganize stuff. And there's like, you can't lock people to certain positions. So I don't know where Derek's going to be every episode. I don't know where I'm going to be every episode. I have to reposition them every single time. And it's annoying. But,
it's definitely a bit of a problem. Again, real quick before we move on, did not expect us to get caught up on the actual talk about the logo. So there you go. A little bonus discussion. Jaden Buck with a $5 donation says, reminds me of of a video that Relax Alax did did recently about oversimplified logos. Yeah, they're everywhere now. The Pringles logo, Amy and I were in the grocery store and just saw the new Pringles logo, and we like the old one better. It's had a bit more personality. It is just simple. Though we have to mention there was like a spicy Pringles that they had there,
and he's like,
and they had the little eyes going in. It's like, you know what? That's pretty good. I'll give him that one.
Yeah, I saw that too. I noticed when I was visiting my mom, CVS changed its logo too. And it was just a very weird, like I looked at the sign, I'm like, is that like a knockoff, like off-brand CVS? And nope, that's their new logo. It looks, I mean, these new oversimplified logos seriously look like someone went on Fiverr and like hired the cheapest guy they could find.
Yeah.
It's
I
what's hot
guess
right now. I don't
it
really
is.
know why, but I mean, you look at Adobe's logos for all of their Creative Suite applications, and they used to be color coded based on the type of work you could do in them. Like most of the video apps were some shade of purple, and now everything's purple.
Yep, it is. It is definitely more annoying now. But
Mhm.
what can you
Yeah.
do?
Oh, well. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our second story, which there's quite a bit to talk about. So let's bring that up. All right. So Sega, in their most recent financial report, has stated that they are examining which of their dormant IPs are fit for a remaster, a remake, or a reboot out of this but there's even more than that. Out of this, they also said that one of their studios is working on a new FPS title that's been labeled a super game. Don't know what that means. And another little thing brought out about this is that in that financial report is despite the fact that there was no new Sonic game last year, the Sonic series still sold 4.4 million copies. That hedgehog will not die. So there you go.
That is insane. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as a huge Sega fan, this is encouraging to see that Sega
Yes.
is remembering that, hey, we made a lot of great games that people might want to see come back. The list: Panzer Dragoon, Knights, Shinobi, Altered Beast, House of the Dead, Jet Set Radio. Like, I love this list.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see all of these. I would kill for a new Shinobi. Yeah, it's all very, very good stuff. I'm hoping. I think I've seen enough of Knights for a while, but a new Jet Set, oh, baby, give me that. Shoot that right into my veins. Especially because there's an indie team working on like a spiritual successor to Jet Set
Yes.
Radio.
I forget what it's called, but I do remember that game, and it looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I don't think people are tired of that very specific kind of game that Jet Set was. I mean, we only got 2 games, first off, and they kind of occupy a unique space. Nobody has really made anything that comes close. But yeah, that indie game, the name escapes me at the moment. I am ridiculously hyped for it just because I want to
Glass
see.
Marcus, thank you so much. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Right.
Yes, Bomb Rush
That's it.
Cyberpunk. Like, I'm very excited to try that. As soon as I can get my hands on it, I will. And to be fair, I don't know. Maybe there is real quick. Just I have to point this out because I get asked this every episode. Wanted Outlaw. Yes, I'm definitely up on the news about the new Dragon Ball Super movie. We discussed it in our Patreon exclusive post show last episode. I am very hyped. Like the amount you would expect from me.
Just wait until we get
was
actual
gone
details.
for the episode we talked about Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Like, god damn it, Shenron is right here on my shelf.
Oh. But yeah, this is a good list, and obviously, there's way more because after Soul Hackers they have etc. etc. It's like, yeah, they mean just
Yeah.
all of these. These are just the big ones. Streets of Rage being on there. Yes, let's get a Streets of Rage 5. Although it's interesting that they consider that a dormant IP, considering 4 just came out.
Yeah, there's weird
But I guess
stuff
it wasn't
on there.
made by Sega. But,
Yeah, they don't
all
they
right.
don't list Shenmue either, and that's kind of sort of theirs. I don't know what happened with that. I think they still own Shenmue, even though Yu Suzuki is now making games again. But I know Sega's involved somehow. There's Virtua Cop, as someone mentioned in the YouTube chat. There's there's a million IPs. Alex Kidd?
Everybody's yeah,
Which-
Alex Kidd, which kind of getting a remake. So
yeah, I
there's
was
that.
about to say that's coming out soon, like in a couple weeks, I think.
Yes,
A lot of these on the list here I could see just ending up in arcades. Like, I'd love to go to an arcade and play a new House of the Dead.
Oh, you
that'd
know
be
what?
amazing.
I'm gonna have to say, probably not. Sega shuttered all their arcades.
That is true.
Oh, that's true.
So
I
if they
forgot about
shuttered their arcades, I have to think that their arcade division is next on the chopping
Is
block.
gone.
Because if you can't run arcades successfully with your own games, that probably speaks to a lack of interest in continuing to produce games, which would be sad. Sega, they were built in the arcades. They started as an arcade company, but
A lot of people in the chat mentioning Choo Choo Rocket. Obviously, would love Choo Choo Rocket. Skies of Arcadia being brought up. There's a lot of Sega sits on a lot of really great IPs.
They
So
really
the fact that
do.
they're actually just considering to do more with them, yes, please.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The one thing I want to point out, and I say this every time Sega like remaking or looking at their old content comes up, please, please, please give me the original PSO on Switch. Just let me have the Dreamcast version or the GameCube version. I'm not picky, but let me have that original 4-player hack and slash PSO on the Switch, please and thank you. I will pay the $10 a month that you used to charge for it gladly. Also, I have it on good authority that Sumo Digital really wants to do that, but that's a whole other.
Retain the split
Yeah.
screen, please, from the GameCube version.
Yes.
Uh,
Offline
that was
play.
awesome.
I really want a new MMO where I can play offline and then bring that progress back online. Like, I know you probably have to
Yeah.
get crazy with the anti-cheat to make sure people don't hack the game offline,
Oh, true.
but you could do it. It's 2021. They have to have figured it out by now.
Yeah. Speaking of the super game, it's interesting here. It's like they said challenge toward creating large scale global titles, and the creation of the super game is not listed until fiscal year of 2026. So 5 years out, just doing all that. But they're aiming for a lifetime sales of 100 billion yen as far as that. But it's also noted that they said development of new FPS title at a European studio, meaning which means a lot of people have said. Yeah, that's likely Creative Assembly, which I'd be down for. I'm not sure what they've done lately, but I know they made Alien Isolation, and that game is freaking amazing. So I'm down for whatever Creative Assembly comes out with.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that. But
Seems like they're giving it enough time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2026. I have to wonder.
I mean, apparently, their brand new they talked about it. Their brand new FPS IP back in 2018 on their own website, but nothing's really come of it yet. So
Wow.
Really?
I don't know.
That sounds like development hell, to be honest.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope not too, but I'll be interested to see. I really like the idea that Sega is going to stop just being a Sonic the Hedgehog and Yakuza factory. I'm very excited to see them actually go back and evaluate their back catalog and hopefully come out with, new entries in franchises that have been dormant for far too long. That's just exciting to me. But
So I just looked up total the Creative Assembly's lineup. Since Alien Isolation, all they've made is freaking Total War games, which apparently they've been amazing. But basically Total War or Halo Wars 2. So
that is such a
wow.
weird Total War and Halo Wars 2. Cool though. I mean, I'd be happy to see them make an FPS. A Sega FPS just sounds so weird to say out loud. So
again, Alien
I'm here for
Isolation made by Sega. So
yeah, that's true. You never really
True.
think about that.
Yeah.
yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. I think Steve will like this one.
Oh, you know it.
Sony has revealed 2 new colors for the DualSense controller, Cosmic Red and Midnight Black. Steve, I know this is straight down your alley. What do you think?
Oh my god, man. Like, I didn't know I wanted these colors so bad until I saw them. I mean, the black one is the one that everybody like photoshopped and made their own versions of, but somehow those all lacked something that is present in the official like hero shots of these. They are gorgeous, man. I tweet
sexy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what this makes me want? So first off, these are really cool colors. As soon as I saw the announcement, I emailed our friends at Sony and was like, "Hey, can you please send these over because I want them, but also because I want to unbox them on the channel, but also because I really want them." But so hopefully we'll have some samples to unbox here on GVG later on because they come out in like a month. It's June 18th, I think. But what this made me realize is that I desperately want Sony to also release PS5 faceplates that match these. I want to be able to get my PS5 all murdered out or get red and black. Like it looks cool, but I will say it might look weird sitting next to a white PS5.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The black does look sleek, but for whatever reason, that red one is really drawing my attention.
It,
I think
it
that's a
pops.
good. Yeah, that is a good color combination.
The one
For
thing I
me, it
saw.
actually is the black one that's drawing to me,
Hmm,
mostly because that blue light that just sings PS2 to me, and
Yep.
that's
true.
exactly what it should be doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
I gotta say I'm happy to see that we're getting color variations on the controllers. I'm also glad to see that Sony is not so tone deaf that they're trying to release color variants of the consoles just yet when no
Yeah.
one can get the white one as is. Because I think
Right.
that would probably be a bad PR move. But I'm gonna remain hopeful that they'll embrace the whole like cosmetic faceplate thing, because every other like, you know, third party manufacturer has taken a whack at it, and they're all kind of sort of okay, they fit, they look okay, but because of copyright issues they can't put the PlayStation logo on them, so it
Mm.
makes the PS5 look kind of generic and weird. I'd love to see official faceplate options from Sony, but if I had to guess, we'll never see them because those things just don't usually sell very well. Look at the
Oh
Xbox
well. 360.
360. I think I was really hyped for that feature, and then I never bought a single faceplate for it. I was like, oh, it's really cool. I can't wait
I
to do it. And I was like, $29. Ugh.
Yeah, I
I'm,
remember seeing that at the time, and even then thinking that's dumb. Why would you change the play? Like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but
I am exactly the kind of sucker they're angling for, but it needs to be in like the $10 price range for me to do it. Um,
I'm kind of regretting the 3 dual senses I already had.
yeah,
Now that
my
these
I only
colors are
have two,
coming.
so
exactly. That was my tweet. Like I'm glad I only have two because I'm about to have four. Like I'm gonna buy one of each of these. Even if Sony doesn't send them, I'll pick them up. Definitely. I'm with Brandon though. I think the black one is a bit more attractive to me, but I can definitely see your point, Derek. The red is really good looking. I really like the
mm,
shade of red they went with.
Yeah.
It's not like loud and garish. It doesn't feel like a cheap plasticky kind of thing. It looks in a way kind of elegant. I like the design, but I'm with Brandon in insofar as the black one is definitely my favorite because I get that PS2 vibe from it, and that
mhm.
if Sony puts out a retro thing, I'm buying it. Like if they announced
Oh
a
man.
PS1 gray one, oh, I'd buy four of them. I'd be like, oh, I'm replacing all of these now.
I mean, my PS4 theme has been the PS2 menu ever since they released it.
Oh
Nice.
nice.
I actually
I
just
launched that
got.
and I said, bye.
I actually just ended up changing my Xbox theme to the original Xbox
Oh yeah, I remember
background. I
that.
saw that and I was like, oh, we should cover this on TNT. And then I was like, it's just a background. I'm not going to do it. But
Yeah, exactly. It's not that huge.
yeah, cool.
So
But yeah, either
it's
way,
cool.
June 18th, hopefully we'll have some of these like to show you on the channel, whether by hook or by crook. But yeah, I'm honestly, that's probably the least exciting thing that's going to happen for Sony in June, though. It's a week after Ratchet and Clank. We all know we'll be distracted.
Yeah, just a bit. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next story. And well, speaking of June, the ESA has detailed some more of their E3 2021 plans. So we're finally getting some idea of what exactly this online E3 is going to be like. So apparently there's going to be an online portal slash app that functions as a key hub. There you'll find hosted events, virtual booths, forums, and more with interactive overlays as well. The main broadcast will also air on Twitch, YouTube, and other streaming services, assumedly. Um, about the actual portal, there's going to be within the portal itself, and that's beginning on June 12th. There's going to be exhibitor booths, which apparently feature special events, VOD content, and articles. Exhibitor booths will act as hubs within the portal for key announcements and game information tied to each exhibitor. There's lounges, which are online gatherings spots for all E3 attendees. I don't know what that means when it says you're an attendee. Forums, there are special boards for focused online discussion, of course. Some leaderboards, because apparently they're going to have some gamified show elements to collect. And apparently you can make your own unique profile. There you go.
Okay.
So that said, speaking from personal experience, maybe don't give the ESA your information. That seems like a bad idea just from, my time with them. But
Yeah.
I guess they're trying to make this fun. So
So I agree with you, Derek. Obviously, you and I were both in the same boat on that one. Um, Yeah, use a PO box if you got one. If you don't
Yeah.
have one, strongly consider getting one. Um,
Hmm.
that being said, I am excited for this E3, which is really weird to say because it's virtual and we're not all going to see each other in person, which are generally the reasons that I'm very excited for shows in general. And hey, now that the CDC said, vaccinated people can gather without masks on indoors, that's really fucking exciting. It gives me hope that by September, PAX will remain a thing and we'll be able to go. But I'm excited for E3 because this is our first E3. This is GVG's very first E3. So I'm going to give it my all as though I was in LA and covering things. But I mean, I do have a shitload of questions about how I'm going to cover things. So
I mean, go to the portal and grab the information. Really, E3 to me for this in this case is just going to be us reacting to each of those streams.
yes.
And maybe for TNT or special things, gathering up their VOD stuff and taking a look or something like that.
Yeah. I anticipate we'll get to do like E3 day wrap ups or whatever, and those will be the focus of TNT for those days.
I'm kind of curious how they're going to handle the media access stuff, because media access starts on Monday, June 7th, which is almost an entire week before everyone else gets access.
Believe it or not, I think I know what that's going to be. So during like preview season last year, because we were all in lockdown, a lot of companies reached out to me and booked long like demo windows.
Okay.
So they would have me play a game on like remote software like Parsec or something like that, and I would spend a few hours. That's how I previewed Assassin's Creed last year. That's how I previewed Watch Dogs. Pretty much every Ubisoft game. I attended a few Nintendo previews. Those were all video based. Like I didn't get to play, but they showed me, like they took me through a gameplay demo that was led by someone, and somehow they transmitted that to me remotely. I assume the same way I'm transmitting TNT to you right now. Just a dude with OBS and a capture card and someone talking through it. But but the one thing I've noticed, the trend that I've noticed is that with these remote demos, with these remote previews, they just like at E3, it's like you're lucky if you get 15, 20 minutes with a game. When they do these remote previews where you're the one playing, it's like 4 hours. Like they're just like, dedicate a whole day. I played Assassin's Creed for 6 hours. I played Watch Dogs for 4 hours. I was like, do I write in the preview that I started to get sleepy because I'm not used to marathoning games this long anymore?
I know I would get 2-3 hours at a time at most.
Yeah, and so I was just like, man, this is tough because there's someone on the other end recording and watching, so I can't be like, well, I'm going to pause it and go get a sandwich and, spend an hour watching TV and then come back to it. I was like, I can't do that. There's a poor person just monitoring this and on Discord with me. So, I think that it's going to be an interesting learning experience, but I think that week is going to be because publishers are like, oh crap, we're doing it this way. Well, book them in for 2 hours. In fact, I have a preview that I'm going to attend, for a game I can't talk about yet. It's 6 hours.
Oh my God.
It's a 6-hour preview. I'm like, I don't know that I can play this game for 6 hours, but I'm going to try.
I have to wonder how much of this is going to bleed into next year, where I imagine E3 will be in person again. Because I can see some of this staying.
I think that, one, I will say that, man, if we get E3 in person 2022 and we get a week beforehand, like we get to show up before the consumer side of the show starts. Oh my God, yes, please. Like if I could be there to work, and I love meeting fans. I absolutely love meeting fans, but being like the ESA shows zero restraint in how many people they let in. And so there are quite literally places where it feels dangerous to try to get around within E3. Like particularly Nintendo, if you've never been to E3, they're like tucked away in a corner. And I know Derek knows this. He's been there. And it is like the most high traffic area of the entire show every year. And you know, I mean, we worked for GX. We had Nintendo meetings every year, multiple sometimes. And there were times where I'd have to get to Nintendo's check-in area for media, and it was just, I couldn't even see through the people. Like, I had to like elbow and wade my way through, and I was like, I started to feel claustrophobic, and I'm not a claustrophobic person. I started to have trouble breathing because I'm inhaling people.
See, by the time I got to do a lot of that stuff, the crowds were mostly dispersed because Nintendo's always one of the first places people go to.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. When you,
Right.
for me, it was always top of the show, right at the beginning of the day, and I'm like, I can't breathe. Please get away from me. I'm gonna have a panic attack. So yeah, I think that, man, if we could get a week where we get to go in, do the work we need to do, and then get out, and then put our coverage up later, that would be so great for the folks making coverage. Because the other thing is too, and Derek, I know you can attest to this, at these shows, it's often, okay, do your meeting, then run the hell back to wherever you can produce the video, upload it, then run the hell back to the show. And that is,
and that's why we had to have somebody at the station, because you guys would give me that stuff, and because you guys didn't have the time to get it uploaded.
Oh,
You
yeah.
had to get to the next interview.
oh yeah, I remember, you know, last E3 that we were all at, Amy and I were running around grabbing footage, dropping it off to you, coming back, and like just repeating the cycle until we just had to stop. We're like, oh yeah, we need to eat. Eating is important. So yeah, I would love to see E3 kind of take a step back and focus a bit more on the mental health and well-being of the folks that are working. That being said, I hope that it continues to be, at least in some way, an avenue for fans, because I grew up my whole life with E3 being a closed trade show and always wanting to see behind that curtain. And I think the fact that fans now have that opportunity is a cool thing. I just wish that I could work without that getting completely in the way of the work.
Yeah.
And you know, that was me in 2019 as I was going to E3 as a fan, and it was an experience, a positive one. But I definitely think having that separation between the people who are there to do the work and the people who are there to have fun would make things so much better for literally everybody.
Yep. Agreed.
No
And look at you
doubt.
now. Next E3, you'll be coming with us. I hope. Please, ESA. We're not that bad. Just let us get our whole crew in.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we want. Yeah, we'll see how this all goes. I'm curious, but I'm hopeful. I'm definitely hopeful. And yeah, crazy that it's less than a month.
Yeah, I need to
Ouch.
register. Yikes.
Do we need? Oh yeah, I guess we do have to register. I didn't even think about that.
That's
'cause
fine.
It is digital.
The funny thing is, and this is different, is now that we're like a co-ownership, like all of us own the channel, we no longer need like stuff on letterhead. We're just like, yeah, it's my channel. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of nice.
I mean, nice. Yeah. All right. Well, next, let's get to the next story, which is a novel concept.
Ooh.
That was
Hey,
good.
I was gonna say from E3 to 2, but that worked, man.
There you go. So, turns out Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be getting a novel, and it will focus on Aerith and Tifa. It's called, let's see, A Trace of Two Pasts, and it'll release, I guess, in Japan on July 15th. It's written by Kazushige Nojima, and is 288 pages. So that's pretty cool. Nojima has been a writer for multiple games, including the original Final Fantasy VII Remake, Crisis Core, 8, 10, and Kingdom Hearts. He also wrote the script for the Advent Children movie and the On the Way to a Smile novel. So he's done quite a bit with the Final Fantasy VII universe, and I think it's just the fact that it's a novel based on these two and hopefully interactions between these two. Yeah, let's hope this gets a English release.
I'm assuming this is canon.
I don't know if it's canon or not, but be cool.
I would assume.
I also have to laugh because when I first looked at this, I thought it said a trace of two pastas.
Two pastas.
And I'm like, what the hell kind of title is that?
Sometimes you need pasta.
Let's see
Uh,
here.
but this looks great. I'll definitely pick this up if it comes out in English, because I love these characters dearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would
Absolutely.
love to read this. I think that the connection between Aerith and Tifa has always been something I find interesting, and if it ties into remake, where I mean technically anything could happen at this point. We don't know what the hell is going on with the story for remake. I would
Mm.
be
Right.
really thrilled to see, what new developments occur there.
I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it looks like it's set in Midgar, just by the where they're
Yeah,
standing at.
Right.
And if it's two past, I wonder if it'll just go into the childhoods of the two of them, which could be interesting. Especially if Tifa, like just the process of her moving from Nibelheim to Midgar and all that stuff. There's potential with these storylines, and I don't
We've
know.
got like the broad outline of both of their pasts, for the most part, but I would definitely like to see that in a more focused, through a more focused lens. And it'd be interesting to see if they intersect in any specific way.
agreed.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be pretty cool. Um, I don't know. I wish it was getting English release. Apparently, it's only Japanese. I'm sure there'll be translations right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
We'll definitely be, like pulling out
Yeah.
the really big things, especially if there's interactions between the two, and any of them are cute because people were shipping these two pretty quickly. Even it just friends and otherwise, these two are getting like, oh, I love how they interact together, which admittedly is really cute.
Yeah, I agree. I like you said, I think it'll be interesting. I'll definitely be there to peruse any fan translations that come out. But
Mm.
I at this point, what I really want from Final Fantasy is just the announcement of or a trailer for Remake Part Two. I
Yeah.
desperately need it in
Please.
my life. I'll love me a Tifa backstory, but I desperately want to see where the story goes from here.
Mm-hmm. Looking further, the description of the novel mentions that it will elaborate on the unknown story of Tifa and Aerith's two different paths. So that's no information whatsoever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Eh,
oh, I got excited, but so we might get it because it is kind of you can get it this book as part of a bundle with Final Fantasy VII Remake material Ultimania, and the English version of that is being released in December of 2021.
Oh,
mm,
okay.
So maybe then.
that'd be nice. I would
I
I would
hope
pick it
so.
up.
I would absolutely. Is
Oh
it
wow,
released? When is Intergrade coming out? July?
June.
June.
June. Okay.
Soon after Ratchet and Clank. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. They have this Ultimania actually looks pretty cool. The one of the things they have in here, just they actually made clothing references. They physically made Aerith's outfit so they could reference it in the for the game itself.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
They have a model in here and everything. That's I can imagine that being. Like, I've never seen an art book for a more modern game like this, so I can imagine it being pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. Arkwing24 in our patron chat accurately points out Integrate is the day before Ratchet and Clank. That's a
Rap. That's why I'm reviewing Ratchet and Clank and not
yes.
Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Though that reminds me, I probably need to look into Integrate.
And Ratchet and Clank if you haven't already.
Oh, I did. Trust me. I
Okay,
did.
cool.
I made the rare request for more than one review code for that.
Does Intergrade have to come out in the heat of E3? Could it not do that thing?
Right.
I do find that funny because I think in a year, just to kind of tie this to our last story, I think in a year where E3 was a physical event, that these games would not release at this time.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Like they'd shift them back like a week, and God, that would be nice. Like one of the games coming out during E3 is like a curse. Please
Yeah.
don't
No, there's
ever
always
release your
something,
game.
and it's impossible to get a good review on time. So
Yeah,
good luck.
Yeah.
we'll see though.
Yep. Oh yeah, as Yu Narakami points out, Guilty Gear Strive also releases the same day as Ratchet and Clank. Fortunately, those are two very different audiences. But
Yeah. I would like to play Guilty Gear Strive, but I'm not going to review it. That would not be a game that I would.
I couldn't review it either.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't know.
Game Builder Garage comes out on that day too.
Christ! Come on!
June 11th. June 11th for Game Builder Garage.
Yep, I think it's the same day.
Doesn't
Well,
Monster Hunter Stories 2 come out around that time? Isn't it
in
June as
June?
well?
It's coming out in July.
Oh, July.
Oh, it's
Whew.
July. Okay.
Whew.
Yeah, June is pretty crazy. I saw that Green Basics that the Strive beta is happening right now. I've not had a chance to try it all. I've never played a Guilty Gear game, to be honest. It
Oh,
just
Guilty
looks
Gear
gorgeous.
is so good. But it is mechanically beyond my capabilities as a fighting game player. It
Oh,
is just
crap.
one of
That's
those.
why I'm a Dragon Ball Fighters kind of guy.
Nice. We need
Baby
to get
enough
we
for
need,
me.
we need to get Brawly on here to tell us about Guilty Gear. I have a feeling that he would probably know a thing or two about that game.
Jeez.
There's a
So
good chance.
I'm looking at June, and yeah, the 10th is when Intergrade and the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection comes out. Then the 11th is Game Builder Garage, Guilty Gear Strive, and Ratchet and Clank. Alex Kidd and
Why?
Miracle World DX comes out the 24th, along with Legend of Mana, and no, that's in Japan. Mario Golf Super Rush comes out the day after that on the 25th, along with the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on Switch. Oh yeah, also Scarlet Nexus on the 25th,
Oh,
same
my
day as
God.
Mario Golf.
My wallet is screaming.
Yeah.
Mario
And then on the
Golf.
29th is when that Ghoul, well, we'll get to it later, but Ghoul Patrol and Zombies Ate My Neighbors, as well as Wonder Boy, Ash and Monster World thing. So yeah, June, packed. Holy crap.
I'm excited though. Those are all
Yeah.
exciting games. It's an embarrassment of riches, but that's going to be a lot of videos.
Yep.
That just means there's a famine coming.
Also that.
Could be. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next games. And whew, this is both nothing and also amazing. So, yeah. Koei Tecmo president had, in a recent interview, mostly talking about Samurai Warriors 5, happened to mention that if he had if like the Musou game he'd like to see, Mario. So of course they got everybody talking about it was like, oh gosh, they want a Mario Musou, Mario Warriors, which, let's be honest, that's what everybody would want to see. To get a complete context in here, it's completely hypothetical, but since we're on the subject of crossovers, personally, which Musou crossover would you like to see? For me, it would be Yakuza rampaging through hordes with Kazuma Kiryu, or Goro Majima would be awesome. And in response, the president said, if the series would work as an action game, then it's definitely possible. While I don't have any ideas on how to make this a reality, I think Mario would be my pick. So
I
There you
would
go.
love to see a Mario Musou game. Honestly, when I think about it, I'm like, I love the world of Mario. I love the Mushroom Kingdom. I love the use of color in those games. I love the character designs. And it would be nice to have a Musou game that doesn't feel quite so serious. I think that Mario could be a lot of fun in this world as long as they, played it goofy. Mario and Luigi
Have
could
all
use
your
their-
zany power-ups and
exactly
whatnot.
like fire flowers, hammers. Like, let Mario's like super move be that he just activates a star and can run through just tons of Goombas and stuff. I would love that.
yeah.
But the thing that I would probably like the most is that this would probably be the closest we would ever get to another Super Princess Peach game. Like Peach being able to wail on people. I imagine they'd give her kind of the powers she had that didn't age quite so well, like using her emotions as weapons. But I'd love to see Peach in a position where she's just kicking some ass for once. So this could be, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it would be right up there with Age of Calamity or Persona 5 Strikers as one of my favorite Musou games.
There's such a large possibility for the roster. Like, amongst all of the Mushroom Heroes, or Mushroom Kingdom heroes, like, the Mario Brothers, Wario, Waluigi, Daisy, Peach. But you can also get into some villain territory. Like, I'd love to play this as Fury Bowser.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Maybe we'd get an actual Godslayer Bowser. Just one-upping Fury Bowser for no apparent reason. Would you know what?
Well, they
though?
could add Giga Bowser.
They could.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'd get all like enough varieties of Mario to put Smash to shame. We'd get like Dr. Mario, we'd get Wrecking Crew Mario, Punch Out Referee Mario. Just
I mean, equipping the different weapons, to give him a hammer, give him a fire flower, give him a all the different power ups over the course. It's just crazy. The tricky part is different, making it different for each character, because we've seen how the powers work for everybody, where they get one unique thing in 3D world, but then have the same basic power.
I have to imagine that like the big twist for this game would be some element of platforming, and that's something you never really do in Musou, and I think that could be a really neat mix with Mario plus all the power-ups and whatnot. I could just imagine like climbing a basic Mario mountain structure and then using Bowser and then just jumping off a cliff and then ground pounding into a bunch of Goombas. There's so much potential there.
Oh man, I want this game. I want this game that'll probably never happen, but
I don't think this will happen, but it's funny that even the president himself wants to see it.
Have happened.
That's true.
They did cross over with Rabbids, so
I like to think, like, I imagine, like, I can just picture finishers for this so easily in my mind. Like, I think about, like, Tanuki Suit Mario, like, grabbing a Mega Mushroom and becoming huge and then flying up in the air and turning into, like, a statue and just dropping down on tons of enemies. I want this game, and I didn't even know it until we started talking about it just now. But Nintendo, Koei, please, please, please give me this. I need this in my life.
So do you call it Super Mario Warriors, or do you drop Warriors for a different title?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I think they probably keep the Warriors aspects. Although Persona 5 didn't do it.
I almost wonder if that's too edgy for Mario.
Right.
What would you call it? Because wasn't Rabbids Mushroom Kingdom Battle or something like that? Or
so I mean, the common thing would be just be Mushroom Kingdom Warriors, but
or you could call it Mushroom Kingdom Showdown, something like that.
I think that there's no way that they would release a Mario game without Mario in the title, though. Like, because
that is true.
How many people know Mushroom Kingdom versus how many people know Mario? Man, but I don't know what you'd call it.
Flip the W in Warriors, it spells Mario.
Mariors.
Mariors.
There we go.
Oh goodness. I don't know. I'm curious how they would pull this off. Like, I could see them having, like, as one gameplay element, you get a power up and you can use it right away, but it won't be as effective. But if you let it build up like a special, all of a sudden you can use super versions of those power ups, like the Tanuki thing that Steve came up with. So I don't know. There's
co-op
there's a lot
play
of potential.
I think the biggest thing for this would be that it's a Musou game that'd be more accessible to like children.
Yes.
And a little less offensive. I mean, Zelda and Persona 5 aren't that bad, but like just having a Mario version of any kind of genre is usually a good entry point for a child to try something new.
Yep. I agree. Man, I can't think of a Nintendo franchise, like a core Nintendo franchise, that wouldn't work well as a Musou game.
I'm crossing my fingers for Star Fox.
Star Fox would be great. It would fit
Animal Crossing Warriors.
Animal Crossing. Okay, maybe that's cool. It's just a bunch of fish and bugs you got to fuck up. Like,
oh, it's nothing but bass.
It's nothing but all the sea bass that we've discarded.
The games that you would think would do well as Warriors games, specifically like Fire Emblem, I find to be the least interesting because they're not too different than what we're already getting. Like, if you were to throw Metroid into a Musou environment, that's more interesting to me because it's sci-fi. There's, cannons and beams and stuff. But with Fire Emblem, we just ended up with a bunch of swords, which is the exact same argument.
Pulling from the two, three of the basic, like 2 recent ones and 1 classic one as far as characters for the most part. So
right. Yeah, I think tying Musou to stranger, less less realistic franchises is definitely the way to go, and that's why Mario itself is really exciting to me. If this ever
Yeah,
happens.
the ones I always see come up the most when it comes to these warrior type games is Mario, Kirby, Pokemon.
I
Oh,
could see
Pokemon
that.
would be so easy to pull off. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
just writes itself.
I would love to see a Splatoon Musou game. Like, give me
Oh,
a
that'd be
war
cool.
between the
Oh,
Inklings and the Octolings, and let me be a Octoling or an Inkling general and just mow people
Could,
down.
could be
you
like
could almost
go ahead,
you
Brandon.
could all you could almost map Splatoon's current control scheme right to that gameplay model, and I think it would just work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I honestly think of almost like Halo for the Splatoon type thing, where the Splatoon kids are going through and fighting the Octolings. But partway through, they find out the hidden salmonid threat, where the
Like
what are
the
they called?
flood.
The flood, and it's the
Oh
salmonid in
yeah.
this one, and then they have to fight the zombie like salmonid while also contending with the freaking the freaking uh Octolings. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun.
We're basically describing what I want Splatoon 3's campaign to be.
Nice.
I love
I
it.
cannot wait for Splatoon 3, but that could be a whole episode unto itself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, with that said, likely not happening. Fun to think about.
Yeah.
When even the president thinks it'd be fun to think about. So let's go back to Square Enix though.
There we go. Back into the realm of reality.
Yes, totally into reality because what's more real than oh god, I forgot the name of the place that it takes place.
Shibuya?
Shibuya. Thank you, Brandon. Anyway, Square Enix has unveiled the opening to Neo: The World Ends with You. Have you two had a chance to watch this yet? I was expecting Ash to maybe be here and talk about this, but
I'm holding
um,
off from looking at stuff for this game because I still have never played the original, and I know like the Switch version I've heard a lot of complaints about because of the control scheme. So I think I just want to
I'd
track it
recommend
down on
playing that
DS.
in I'd recommend playing it in handheld if you're going to play it on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
It's still fine. It plays fine in handheld. I just recommend having it in handheld because it's it's the physical controls that just don't work too well.
Okay. Well, maybe
Like
I will
the
pick it up on Switch then.
um, I love this opening because there's just so many musical styles represented in just this one opening. Whether new songs, new genres, but also some classic songs from the original and just having the remixes in there. It is so freaking good. Cannot wait for this game. June's packed, July is packed. There's a lot of stuff packed in this one, but I think it looks gorgeous. There's some great visuals. I don't find it to be too spoilerish. It's just mostly character stuff and beats. So you don't have to worry about it too much. But yeah, I'm just so
Oh,
excited.
yeah, I'm listening to it now, and yeah, this is sick. I
There
like
we
this a
go.
lot.
I definitely
The,
want to check it out. I haven't gotten a chance to see the trailer myself, but
mhm.
the game looks exciting. Like, I really want to try the game when it comes out. I don't know if I'm gonna find the time to beat the first one first, but if I can,
Probably
I
not.
will.
I love it. I think you'd love it, especially with you being so into Japanese, Steve. So you'd kind of click with it, I think.
Nice.
Derek,
But
how
I
long
love
is the
how it
original?
the final version of the song, the song in place with this opening, it just goes full on scream metal.
It
Nice.
really
It totally
does.
reminds me of the second Death Note opening.
Oh, nice. I'm definitely gonna have to check out the trailer. Maybe after the post show is over. But
There you go.
yeah, I'm definitely excited for Neo: The World Ends with You. It's not going to be a day one purchase for me just because I know I won't commit the time. Um,
Mhm.
but I'll be I'll be poking you about how you feel about it when you're playing it. Because I have a
I'm
feeling it's going to
hoping
be a
we
good
can get
one.
this early from Square because I would love that.
That's a good question. Oh, with this one, I'm not sure if it's Square or Nintendo handling PR. Because normally
I
Square's
don't
really
know.
good about talking to me about stuff like this. Nintendo, not so much. But I would, I'll have to put some feelers out there and figure out who I need to talk to try to get us a copy of that to check out here on the channel.
Hmm.
But if it's Square, it's definitely happening. Square has been a great partner. Love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support and for, the repeated Final Fantasy 14 game time codes. We appreciate you guys so much.
It helps a lot.
It does.
Oh goodness, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've not heard calling in the game yet. Flox Cat. There's again some other classic songs in there, but I love the soundtrack to The World Ends with You. As I put out on Twitter, when I played the original, I actually would hook up my computer speakers into my DS just so I could jam out to the songs as I was playing.
Nice.
I'd set up my computer desk and just play it that way, just because it was so freaking good. Bought the soundtracks as well. It's like one of the few things I've bought off Apple Music.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So yep. Well, speaking of classic games, I had a bit of a mention this earlier, but let's go ahead and bring up our final news topic for the day. So, out of nowhere, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol are both coming to consoles June 29th. Hello, June. And yeah, just no hype whatsoever. Just bam. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is back, which I've honestly never played. I've seen people play a bunch of this, never tried it myself. I don't even think I realized Ghoul Patrol was a sequel.
Yeah, me neither.
I did not know that myself.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors was one of those games that I associate very heavily in my mind with the 90s. And only because I like you, Derek, I never played it, but I was bombarded with ads for it. Like in every magazine I read, I would see this game. I would see this game online in forums. I understand that it's quite well loved. I've just never tried it myself. Being on the Switch might be the thing that gets me to try it, just because I don't know what it is about the Switch, but I constantly want to add games to that library. And I think it's just the portability of it, but I would try it, but I have no reason I don't know that it's going to be something that'll click with me or not. I literally have no clue what this game is about.
It's very arcadey. Basically,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, it's going from level to level, fighting the monsters, saving kids, and getting to the next one. And there's like 70 plus levels to get through. So it becomes a bit of an endurance run. Just seeing how
It
far
kind
you
of
can get.
reminds me of Death Road to Canada, where you're doing you're fighting zombies on a stage, you're collecting items and gaining resources before moving on to the next level. That's probably the closest analog in in a modern sense that I could give to it.
Interesting. I'm for that. That sounds pretty cool.
Is do we know if this is going to have online multiplayer? Because that was kind of a deal breaker for me in
No,
this
they
case.
didn't. I don't think they said anything.
That is a very good question. I do not know.
Game saves and achievements, museum gallery, and that's about all they said.
I guess not then.
According to Awdoodle in the Patreon chat, Ghoul Patrol was a game that wasn't going to be related to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but after it came out, they went, "Oh shoot, make it a sequel." Ghoul Patrol is pretty meh apparently, so don't hear about that one too much. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Not too sure about this one. But I've never played it. It's cool that it came out. It's nice to have these surprises. Kind of like how what is it? Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance came out of nowhere this week.
Yeah.
So, hey, more games to play. Cool.
It's never a bad thing.
Exactly.
But it's funny, none of us actually played it before.
Yeah, I guess that marketing was...
I have played it before on
okay.
Super Nintendo, but not enough to really be an expert on it or anything.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, not too much more to talk about with that one. It's just like, hey, it's a thing. That's cool. And yeah, I think with that, we've covered all the major headlines from today's news. But before we sign off, Brandon, we're having you on here pretty commonly recently, but I still think it's worth having everybody know where to find you otherwise.
You can find me on YouTube at Breakroom Arcade. You can find me on Twitter at @MarrowLeaf_. I've been streaming a little bit more lately. I'm going to be doing that much more in the coming month. But if you want to follow me, you can follow me at twitch.tv/MarrowLeaf. And like I've said the last few times, occasionally you can find me right here on GBG.
These occasions are
Occasionally, yeah, these occasions are becoming more
Occasionally.
common.
these-
You know what? I'm gonna be selfish this time and plug my own Twitch, since you're talking about how you've
Do it.
been doing Twitch more. I stream over at BitNerd Games on Twitch. I've been doing, my numbers have been very good lately. I'm gonna be, hopefully by the end of May, applying for partner, and hopefully finally getting that. And
Oh
I've
yeah,
been,
man.
if you're excited for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I've been playing through the entire series. I'm probably should be finishing up Secret Agent Clank soon, which means we're getting to the future games, and that's when the series gets really good. Otherwise, I'm playing through Gravity Rush on Saturdays, and um, doing a 101% run of Donkey Kong 64. My first time playing the game on Sundays.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I'm a little bit over halfway done. So there's that. But that's just my own personal. Steve, anything personal you want to plug?
I'm
Feel
gonna
like we
be
gotta
playing
put
the
you in
shit out of PSO2 right here on GVG. I don't have time. I got 4 kids, man. I can't do this and another content creation gig. That's tiring to think about. So yeah, you can find me here. If I'm ever posting anything, it's here, and at twitter.com/SteveMBowling, where I'll give you all my horrible personal thoughts on my horrible personal activities. But
Well, there we go. Ringing endorsement. So yeah. Oh gosh. But of course, before we sign off, we also have to give a very, very special thanks to all of our patrons, whether it's big or small, and especially those at the producer tier, as this show just would not be possible without all of you. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to our executive producers and above. And that includes Jared Ettinger, Brandon Bovia, Rob Arman X, Itiono Ben, Dan Inchwhistle, Dennis J, Z Patty, Hyrule Hermit, Sky Blue Flames, Adam O'Sullivan, It's ATM, Octopuppet, Richard Herrera, Michael Phone, Echo Carroll, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Kitty Kong Facts, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotek, 112, Macalau, John, Joshua Hunter, Evernight Studio, Benny Yao, Alicia, Asran127, Ken Roulette09, Jake Pelka, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Charlie Bird, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Douglas Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Orem M, Sakuragi, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Fizzy Wighoid, Critmonger, The Legend of Groose, Eddie B, Kai Ed, Kit Fisto, West Egg, Masterlinks, Deaneth, Coda, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straightlace, Hoobie, Wolf X Blake, Moon Macarons, Ascaron 809, Kane, Captain Finlandia, 60 Minutes and 60 Seconds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Revelox, Synchro Lord, Brainchild, Rosa Bowling.
hi, Mom.
There you go. Kotar Peck, Scuff 196, Skull Kid Tiger, AJB Cool, Blizzica, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Phantom Project, Wheezy Penguin, Derek, Stephen Nelson, Ray Clausen Jr., and Nathan the voice actor. Whew, we are quickly approaching 100 EPs, it feels like, so that is just getting longer and longer. But thank you all. Yeah. Thank you all so much. And remember that you too can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming, where you can get access to our exclusive post show and ad-free content, including that most recent weekly discussion we had on Mortal Kombat, for as little as $5 a month. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to Good Vibes Gaming for more good times like these. So until next time, good night and good vibes.
Bye, everyone.
Night.
Bye.